And it came to be in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, on the 10th of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, and all his army came against Jerusalem and encamped against it. And they built a siege wall against it all around. And the city was besieged until the 11th year of sovereign Zedekiah. By the 9th of the month, the scarcity of food had become so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then the city wall was breached, and all the men of battle fled at night, by way of the gate between the two walls, which was by the sovereign's garden, even though the Castlites were still encamped all around against the city. And the sovereign went by the way of the desert plain. And the army of the Castlites pursued the sovereign, and overtook him in the desert plains of Jericho. And all his army was scattered from him. And they seized the sovereign, and brought him up to the sovereign of Babel at Riblah. And they pronounced sentence on him. And they slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babel. And in the 5th month, on the 7th of the month, which was the 19th year of sovereign Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, Nebuzaradan, the chief of the guard, a servant of the sovereign of Babel, came to Jerusalem. And he burned the house of Yahweh, and the house of the sovereign, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Even every great house he burned with fire. And all the army of the Castlites, who were with the chief of the guard, broke down the walls of Jerusalem all around. And Nebuzaradan, the chief of the guard, took into exile the rest of the people who were left in the city, and the deserters, who deserted to the sovereign of Babel, with the rest of the multitude. But the chief of the guard led some of the poor people in the land as vine dressers and farmers, in the bronze columns that were in the house of Yahweh, in the stands in the bronze sea that were in the house of Yahweh. The Castlites broke in pieces, and took their bronze away to Babel. And they took the pots, and the shovels, and the snuffers, and the ladles, and all the bronze utensils that the Kohanim used in their service. And the chief of the guard took the fire holders, and the basins, which were of solid gold and solid silver. The bronze of all these utensils was beyond measure. The 2 columns, the 1 sea, and the stands, which Shlomo had made for the house of Yahweh. The height of 1 column was 18 amah, and the capital on it was of bronze. And the height of the capital was 3 amah, and the network and the pomegranates all around the capital were of bronze. And the 2nd column was the same, with a network. And the chief of the guard took Seariah, chief of the Cohen, and Zephaniah, the 2nd Cohen, and the 3 doorkeepers. And out of the city he took a certain eunuch, who was appointed over the men of battle, and 5 men of those who saw the sovereign's face, who were found in the city, the chief scribe of the army, who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land, who were found in the city. And Nebuzaradan, chief of the guard, took them and made them go to the sovereign of Babel at Riblah. And the sovereign of Babel smote them and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So he exiled Yehudah from its own land. And he appointed Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, son of Shaphan, over the people who were left in the land of Yehudah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, had left. And all the commanders of the armies, they and their men, heard that the sovereign of Babel had appointed Gedaliah, and they came to Gedaliah at Mitzpah, even Yishmael, son of Nethaniah, and Johanan, son of Kare, and Seariah, son of Tanhumeth, the Neophathite, and Yaaziyahu, son of a Maakathite, they and their men. And Gedaliah swore to them and their men, and said to them, Do not be afraid of the servants of the Castlites. Dwell in the land, and serve the sovereign of Babel, and let it be well with you. And in the 7th month it came to be that Yishmael, son of Nethaniah, son of Elishama, of the seed of the rain, came with 10 men, and smote Gedaliah, that he died, and the Yahudim and the Castlites who were with him at Mitzpah. And all the people rose up, small and great, and the commanders of the armies, and went to Mitzrayim, for they were afraid of the Castlites. And it came to be in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yehudah, in the 12th month, on the 27th of the month, that Ewil-Merodach, sovereign of Babel, in the year that he began to reign, released Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yehudah, from prison. and spoke kindly to him, and appointed his throne above the throne of the sovereigns who were with him in Babel, and changed his prison garments. And he ate bread continually before the sovereign all the days of his life. And as his allowance, a continual allowance was given to him from the sovereign, a quota for each day, all the days of his life.